Hi everyone and welcome back. I hope that you guys are doing so very well today. So today's video is going to be a 1 month update. I have officially been here for over a month now, about 5 weeks since I first arrived, and it's been 5 crazy weeks. And today I thought I would just sit down and give a little update on what I have experienced this far. So I have made myself a little cheat note here of what to say, and I'm going to put this update into two sections, two parts, where the first part is going to be all about living abroad, which I am right now, and the second part is going to be all about being an au pair. So first of all, living abroad is something that I have dreamed about for so many years. It's something I have wanted to do since I was really young, and I've always been excited about the thought of leaving your own country to live in another country and kind of see what that is like. So right now I am from Sweden and I right now live in France. And I have to say that the differences aren't that big, which I kind of expected from the beginning, because it is two countries in Europe and it's not super different in any way. But there are some differences, of course, because it is two different countries with different history and different culture. So it is different, but not too different. One thing that of course makes this experience different is the language. So right now my head is so confused by the languages, as I still think in Swedish. I talk mostly in English, and I am learning and trying to talk French. So that is 3 languages my brain has to constantly separate, and sometimes I feel when I'm talking or when I am writing in my journal that I'm not thinking in one language anymore. Usually I only think in Swedish. Now I think in Swedish, English, and French. So all of these languages and all of these words is so sometimes difficult to find the right word in the right language that I need for a certain situation. I am speaking French with the youngest kid in this family. This family has 3 kids at the age 8, 12, and 14, and the 8-year-old does not speak English, so I need to speak French with her, which is slow, but I am getting there. The 12-year-old I can talk English to, but whenever I write a message to him, I need to kind of put it in both languages. And the oldest one, kind of just English, and also with the parents, mostly English. And of course, the language makes it kind of hard to communicate. It's easy to misunderstand each other, as I'm not speaking my native language and the family's not speaking theirs, as we speak English to each other. And also my French is still so low that I can't have a serious conversation in French. I can have the 8-year-old conversation in French. You have to be patient with your communication to make sure that there are no misunderstandings, and if there are, which there is sometimes, that you have patience with that and that you can sit down and clear out whatever's unclear. So when it comes to the cultural difference, biggest things I have so far experienced is family dynamic and food. It's very interesting to just see the way another family in another country, how they eat. I have noticed that they eat very fast. They put a lot of food on the plates and then everyone's eat, and I enjoy this when you put out a lot of food and then you let it take time. You sit and like kind of snack your meal. You take one bit at a time for like hours, and I was so happy because when I came here, one of the first family dinners that I was at, they put out a lot of this food, a lot of like kind of like a buffet, and I was so excited to just sit and eat for hours. But I realized that they don't eat for hours. They put everything out there and then everyone's like and then as soon as they are finished, they are like away with all of the food. And then the next course, so you know, first it's the apéro, the kind of appetizer where you snack and chat, and then you have the food, and then everyone eats, and then gone with the food, and then immediately dessert. And I'm like, okay, can we cool down? I'm not can we slow down please? So that is a difference that I have really noticed, that the eating is not as social as in Sweden. In Sweden, meeting each other and eating together is a very social event where people really take the time to talk with each other. But here there's a lot of focus on eating, so you have to be quick or you won't get anything. It was one of the first things that I noticed was these everyday things that you don't really think of. I mean, I knew before going that something that was going to be very different and kind of hard for me would be the language. The food culture would be different, the family dynamic culture would be different, the, you know, these obvious things. But one thing that wasn't obvious to me that really hit me in the beginning was the everyday situations like driving. My experience is that driving is extremely unorganized here. I feel confused whenever I hit the roads. I'm like, there are no signs that are clear. There are people are just driving the way they want to, not following the rules, and it just feels very, very unorganized, and there's not like a clear structure of how to drive, which is confusing. But it's also the first time I am driving outside of Sweden, and I've heard that apparently Sweden is a very organized country when it comes to driving. So the thing about being an au pair, which is mostly what this experience is about for me, I am an au pair, as I said, in France. I will be living here for in total 11 months. I have been here for 1 month now, so I have about 10 months left. I arrived in August and I will leave in the beginning/middle of July. So being an au pair is difficult. It really is. And it's not difficult because the children are mean to you or they don't listen. It's difficult because you are supposed to carry a type of responsibility that you have not carried before. I am not a mom. I am an older sister, but you know, my brother's 2 years younger than me, so I don't really have that type of caregiving experience. Entire life, my only responsibility has been me, and now my responsibility is me and 3 kids. Even though they are pretty old, the children that I am taking care of, I am still supposed to make sure they do what they are supposed to do, which means, you know, I talked to the host mom a couple of weeks ago. That so fun because she said you need to remind the kids of all of these things. I was like, yeah, and the complicated part about that is that for me to remind them, I need to remember. So I need to remember all of what I'm supposed to do and then what 3 kids are supposed to do at what day, at what time, which is super weird for me because I'm not used to it. I only need to remember my own things, and now I have to remember so much more. But the one thing that you really notice that is different is that you are, as an au pair, you are not their mom, you're not their parent, you're not supposed to raise them, but still you are responsible when you are alone with the children. So child raising culture, it's very different, and it's something that I did not think of before coming here, that it would be so different, your view on raising children and your view on what is okay and what is not okay. I'm not here to raise these kids in the way I think is correct. I'm not super nanny, I'm just the au pair. So it takes time to adapt to a new family and their routines and everything like that. That's about what I am saying about this 1 month update. This is what I have to say. This is kind of what I have experienced this far and what I feel like I want to share with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this type of video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.